pull up the chart of Elon Musk showing the number of Social Securities. So they're showing that he's given a talk. I believe this is in Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. They're campaigning. Today's a very big day for Wisconsin. He roared the whole cheesehead, signed it, sent it in the audience himself. But they're showing the data here. And I want you to pay attention to this and ask yourself, why is this happening? Go ahead, Rob, if you can play the clip.
You see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, just this literally blew us away. Like, we went there to find fraud, and we found this by accident. And this isn't political, by the way. My parents are immigrants. Legal. Yeah, this country's been great to us. My brother and sister are all born in Spain. I'm pro-legal immigration. This is not political. This is not political. This is about America and the future of America. And there are a lot of good people in the system that pointed this in this direction. I want to honor them right now, that work in the government today, who took risks to show us these numbers and tell us what's going on.
Wow. Yeah. So pause it right there. Okay, so can you zoom in? So do you know what this is? If you're watching this, so this is new non-citizen Social Security numbers issued. The furthest one to the left is 2021. That's Biden's first year. Okay. Is there a way to see what that number is?
I can read it. I can't zoom in because it's a video, but it's 270,425.
That's first year 2021 Biden giving out Social Securities. Second year looks like 590, if I'm not mistaken,
Correct.
Rob. Third year looks like 964.
Yep.
And fourth year is over 2 million, but is it 2,095,000?
Yeah, 2,095,247.
And can you do me a favor and research? And then this year, in the first few months, which means this is that really 960 in the first few months?
900,649.
That is wild to be thinking about. Rob, what is the year that we've given out the most Social Security numbers out to non-U.S. citizens? Can we just kind of see? So 2.1 million, that means out of 340 million people living here, 1% of Social Security cards were given away just last year in 2024.
To people that aren't supposed to be here.
They're not. These are not. What is the most? What's the most Social Security numbers in a year to non-citizens? What was that? Over 2 million. So the record is in 2024. Oof. Over 2 million. Wow. That is absolutely insane. So now, very basic. Why did this happen? What percentage of them do you think are going to be voting Republican? What percentage of them do you think are going to be voting on the left? Who did this? What was the motive? Tom, lots of questions. Your thoughts on this?
Well, my thoughts on this is obviously, first of all, I really appreciate this guy saying, hey, I'm in favor of legal immigration, and thanking the people that were working in the SSA, Social Security Administration, who cooperated with them and said, hey, you're here looking for waste and fraud. You need to see this. So that means that there are people in the Social Security Administration who are realizing what was happening. And what do I think about this? I think the administration in power at the time was a Biden administration, and the support of Schumer and Pelosi were very, very liberal on this issue. They were issuing Social Security numbers to non-citizens. They were helping people who got here to stay here and work here legally. And by the way, Vinny, I'll give you something here. Let me ask you a question. So every state in the nation, you have to be a citizen and you have to have a Social Security number to get a real estate license or an insurance license. And Pat would know something about that. He founded, had vision, and built one of the largest insurance distribution companies in history. And guess what? We would go to the states and say, well, all the person has is an I-10, which is a temporary number. Sorry, can't be an agent. If you have a Social Security number and then they lied to us about citizenship, guess what? The state of California, state of Texas wouldn't know. Now you've got this. So they're giving Social Security numbers out to people, I believe, knowing full well that they're helping them hide in plain sight as illegals, because you go up to get a job and they say, do you have a Social Security card? Yes, I do. I'll show you my Social Security card, my number right here. And you fill out a, what's it called? An I-9 with, I think that's the form that an employee has to fill out to say that they're a citizen, an I-9. And so this is the previous administration giving Social Security numbers out so people can hide in plain sight who are actually not citizens.
And the main goal was for what, Tom? To change the voting block of
there
America.
it is.
Right there.
I-9, you fill that out, and you have to show something. So here's my Social Security number. Here's my driver's license.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I just found it. I found the year with the most given, Rob. So more than 37 million Social Security numbers had been issued by the end of 1937. That's a total had been given. In the next dozen years, the number varied with the number of new entrants into covered employment. It reached at a peak of 7.6 million given in 1942. But dropped to 2.7 million post-war period 46 through 50. Okay.
But wasn't the first year the starting point? Because there's only like 90 million Americans.
But hear me out. This continues. Then the highest number of Social Security numbers issued in a single year was 9.1 million in 1990. Here's a more detailed breakdown. The peak year for Social Security numbers was not. Rob, do me a favor. Type this in Google, and you'll see exactly what I'm looking at. Most Social Security numbers given in a single year. Most Social Security numbers given in a single year. So it should come up perfect, and that's exactly what I'm looking at. Yeah. So I have another one that says 9.1 million, but we'll find that as well. So this is we've issued 450 million Social Security numbers since day one, with an average about 5.5 million numbers assigned annually. But how many is it to non-U.S. citizens, though? The peak year, I'm going to 7.6 million. What's it going to post for 2.7 million? I have here, it says the highest number was in 1990, was 9.1 million. But I wonder if that is to, if you type in,
it can't be non-citizens, right?
Okay, it cannot be. Rob, can you type this in? What I just sent to you, just type that in Google if you could. Do you see which one I texted you? Okay.
Yep.
So let's see what comes up with this. 9, okay. Zoom in right there. Right. Is it Family Support Act 1988 and the growth in the enumeration at birth program combined to increase the number of Social Security numbers issued to 9.1 million people in 1990, but the figure decreased to 7.5 million in 1991. The number of dependents who are required to get Social Security numbers under the Family Support Act diminishing. So what is that about? Can you look?
I believe, look this up, I believe the Family Support Act was if you were claiming dependents on your tax return, they had to have a Social Security number, and sometimes people wouldn't get Social Security numbers for their kids until they were 16 and going to get a job. So I think that 15 million in 2 years was so that people had to put a valid Social Security number on their tax return
for taxes
to identify a dependent.
Okay. So then the title here is what? New non-citizen Social Security numbers issued. New non-citizen. What is the most we've done for new non-citizens? I'm really curious at this point. Most Social Security numbers given to non-U.S. citizens. Are you able to find it? Do you see any of it?
It keeps coming back to 2024 with
2 million.
Yep.
You keep seeing that. Me too. I keep seeing the same thing as well. Guys in the back, can you also look this up to see, maybe you find something that we're not seeing? Adam, what are your thoughts on this?
So I'm doing the math here. That's what I'm sort of doing right now. So we talked about last week these gold card.
Adam, have some water.
I will, buddy. No, I was doing math in the middle of it, but we talked about the gold card last week.
Yeah.
People are paying $5 million to get access to America. $5 million. How many people did he say that did this? Like 1,000 people already? They're trying to raise billions of dollars, potentially $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Why would you pay? Just come in illegally, go through this whatever nonsensical waste, fraud, and abuse process, and just come in and get a Social Security number, just be part of America. So it just seems like the people who are doing things right are not prioritized. People who are skipping the line, not going through the door, are just skipping the line and able to cheat the system. So do you know what happened this weekend in the UK? Did you hear what they hosted? So this past weekend in the UK, they hosted the summit to end illegal immigration. It was called the Organized Immigration Crime Summit, put on by Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer. 40 countries participated. $33 million is what they're putting towards doing what? Prosecuting smugglers who are basically helping to smuggle people into the UK and into Europe. And it's not the countries that you would suspect to be there. Obviously, the US was there, France was there, but Vietnam was there. Why is Vietnam there? Iraq was there, because this illegal immigration or mass migration is not just an American thing. It's not just a UK thing. It's happening all over the world. Essentially, people from poor countries, authoritarian countries are like, what the hell am I doing here? And they're going to cross the border illegally. The rich people are going to be okay. Like we discussed the numbers about, paying $5 million. How many people couldn't afford $5 million? Like, what was the amount of net worth someone needed to have, you think, to pay $5 million for this gold card?
$100 million bucks.
$100 million, but how many people have that?
They came out with a number, 30 million. I don't know what the number was. Rob pulled it up.
Okay. But those people have options.
Sure.
So the point is, there's so much criticism going on from the left towards Elon Musk and Doge and this waste, fraud, and abuse. What's wrong with criticizing, obviously, a fallible system that has massive holes in it? So it should not be political. What's the one thing the guy said at the beginning? This is not political. This is not political. This is not political. We'll see if it becomes political.
Well, if we're going to be real about the situation, it all comes back to the Democrats and cheating, okay? Because they get, why give them all social security numbers and then have them register to vote? Because they want to change the makeup. They want to change the voting block because these people are obsessed with power. But in that, having a wide open border and having everybody come in and give them all that, Adam, bad things happen, meaning hundreds of thousands of Americans died because of fentanyl, because mind you, the border's wide open because they want these people to come in illegally and get the social security numbers, but we lose over 100,000 a year from fentanyl and all the drugs, okay? We have hundreds of thousands of missing children that come through the border, okay? Because mind you, they want to stay in power, okay? How many girls did we see just in the past year that were either raped or murdered by illegals? But the Democrats are like, no, they're good people. So that goes back to last week's podcast when I say that they are the enemy of the people. Those people, that party that's willing to leave the border open for votes and we lose American lives, they are the enemy of the people. And Elon Musk yesterday, Pat, said someone is getting arrested today because he stole 400,000 social security numbers and he was selling them. There was an audio of it. So this all boils down to what? The Democrats cheat. They have to cheat. They keep blaming Trump. And Trump, that's why when Trump was like, in 2020 they cheated. Obviously in 2016 they cheated, but the Russia collusion thing didn't work. But that is, you are trying to change the makeup of the country of and ruin our livelihoods because you guys want to keep that power. Period.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, your frustration. To say Democrats all cheat, that's a blanket statement to everybody. I don't know if it's going to be all. I do think there are, like when you see a number like this, it doesn't take a dummy to sit there and say, why are you doing this? Why did this happen? Does it correlate with the number of people crossing the border? Yes. So those people that crossed the border, the record-breaking numbers, which I believe it was the most people that crossed the border illegally was in December of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. It was a number 235 or 232, some number like that came through. So, and then you see this number, and it's like, no, it's not really an issue. It's not really taking place. Now the challenge becomes, what do you do with these guys? What do you do with the people that came here illegally? And AOC talked about, we don't have a illegal immigration problem. We have a documentation problem. What did she call it? There's a word that she said. Oh. We have like, what do you call it when somebody comes here and they want to become a citizen? The process.
An asylum, a legal asylum.
No, it's a different word. But, our immigration problem is a challenge of getting people documented to make them legal.
Oh, yeah, they want to make it, they want to rush to get them documented.
So when you see numbers like this, it's a little bit weird to say 2.1 million. Everything I'm looking at right now, it keeps pointing back to 2024. But we'll see what happened here. If you were at the Vault conference, we had these backpacks, and the backpacks went off like it was gone within minutes. That for the rest of the 3 days, everybody was asking, where are the Valuetainment backpacks? I want them. This is genuine leather red, limited edition, numbered on the side, out of 100, okay? And then it's the Valuetainment logo on the front. It says Valuetainment right here. Even this what do you call it? The zipper, here it's got the Valuetainment logo on it. Limited edition, red, Valuetainment backpack, genuine leather. These will go in no time. There's only 100 of these. You won't see these again. Limited on the side. It's got it numbered, whatever number you're going to be getting, 2 out of 100, 58 out of 100. It'll be numbered. And then typically when you see these, what ends up happening is some people buy them and they post them on eBay and they sell it for 3 times. Mm-hmm. And you see that with hats. Some of the hats that we have, the Future Looks Bright hat, are on eBay. Some guys are selling for $3,500, $3,000, $500. And some of them are able to sell them. But for you, if you're somebody that follows Valuetainment very closely and you're proud of the brand and you want to sport it, go get these limited edition 1 out of 100 red leather backpack on vtmerch.com. These will go in no time. Maybe a good gift for your husband. Maybe a good gift for your son. Maybe a good gift for somebody that would actually, maybe for your wife, somebody that would sport this. But go to vtmerch.com to place your order. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.